What's up, Scorpio gang? Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Happy to have you all. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, like always. If the messages that come through do not resonate for you, please do push them aside. Go ahead and assume they're going out to someone else who needs to hear them. It might just resonate for you at a future time or date, so you may want to revisit these messages. Do remember you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. That being said, let's set the intention to get Scorpio out there, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, some clear, helpful, insightful messages. Maybe something that would be fun to hear. Let's welcome that into the reading, right? Whatever they need on their spiritual path right now, let's do it. Let's have the tarot tell them. All right, so what's showing up in the past for Scorpio, my lovely, lovely Scorpios? Page of Cups and an Oak King. All right, so you're either waiting on a message, maybe not a, well, yeah, I guess a message with the page. But with Cups, it's like a heartfelt emotion, right? So waiting on a message to be received. Some of you, it's like you're waiting on for those who have children, you're waiting on your child to do something or express something to you. You may have this sort of inkling or this feeling that your child is wanting to come forward and say something to you, but it's almost like really lovely, like you're holding space for them. You're not trying to like rush it. There's kind of like this, they're going to come to me when they're ready, and I'm going to let them know that I'm open and this and that. If that doesn't resonate for you in terms of a child, there could be some dynamic with someone in your life who is maybe a little bit, I'm hearing the word raw, but sort of what I was going to say is like they're a little bit immature with maybe not immature. The way they express themselves isn't always clear. It doesn't always kind of stick the landing. This person may have trouble expressing what they're actually feeling. And so Scorpio, you kind of might be that pillar of strength in their life where you're just like, again, same idea. It's like, it's cool. They'll come to me when they're ready. Like it's kind of like, I'm here, boo. I got you. Whatever you need, just let me know. But you're not forcing it. You're not, which is actually really cool. It's not kind of like that, the negative energy of like the Mars of like, let's go and let's rush this and let's do this. It's like the more Scorpio of like, let it simmer, let it cook, let it, let's make a stew here, but in a good way, right? We'll turn up the heat slowly. Okay. I feel like that's symbolic for some of you too. Maybe approaching a relationship with less intensity or it's not that it's a lack of passion, but it's not rushing into anything. There's like a slower nature. All right, here we go. So how is this impacting them presently? So the Five of Swords. All right. So I'm hearing like recounting or maybe recollecting. I heard recollecting, but recollecting, maybe looking back on the past. Some of you are needing to approach a very stubborn male figure in your life, and sort of, I'm hearing clear out the weeds, declutter. For some of you, it might even be someone in your family, like a parent, a father figure, an uncle, a grandfather. It's almost like you have really good sound wisdom and advice for them, Scorpio, but like they kind of have their head up their butt. Like, sorry, like they're like, this person is not always great at listening to other people because they're very stuck on their own opinions. And so there's an element to this of, again, like this releasing. It's like, I'm not trying to force anything, but I think you have very good intentions here. And so you're trying to present a truth or present an alternative, an option, a solution. But it's like, this person well enough to know that you almost have to let it be their idea, even though it's absolutely not. And like, I get it. It's frustrating. There is a lot of like swallowing one's pride and swallowing one's ego here. It's like you're reaching out to lend a helping hand, and this person absolutely needs it. Like metaphorically, they're slipping and falling, but it's like, by grasping your hand, there's something about like, well, I couldn't do it myself. So it feels very like old man syndrome. I gotta be honest. Like it feels very much like I have too much pride. I have too much ego to admit that I needed your help. And like Scorpio, your energy is so lovely here because you're just, this person is kind of being a little like a little jerk about it, but you're not letting you're not letting that agitation show. You're just like, oh no, it's like, I know you had it. It's cool. I just, I thought I'd offer to help. Like, I like your energy here. I love it. It's because you know what it is. It's practicing really good emotional intelligence. It's not sinking down to someone's level. Like when they're not operating at a high vibe place, you're not meeting that energy and mirroring it back of like, well, fine, then you figure it out yourself. Like there isn't like this immature response to how they're acting. There's like this, there's like the psychological approach. You always have the psychological edge, Scorpio. It's like, you know why they're doing that. It's because they have their own issues. And so you're not feeding into that. You're just, again, you're extending a hand with nothing but goodness in your heart. And I love it. I love it. Maybe this resonates for you in multiple areas. For some of you, it's definitely family dynamic. Like, even if you're a full-fledged adult, like, you're still the child to these, to your own parents. There's something going on there with that parent-child stuff. I suppose it could be a relationship too, if any of that is making sense. Again, for someone who approaches things with maybe a little bit less emotional maturity, or again, trouble admitting that they need help. So what supports Scorpio in this endeavor? The Four of Cups. Yeah, I think it's you. This is like, typically the Four of Cups you've been getting Four of Cups a lot lately, Scorpio, haven't you? I think you have. Anyway, Moon in Cancer, I mean, that alone says to me, when the moon is in Cancer, that is its natural home, right? Cancer is ruled by the moon. So there's something very supportive and nurturing about this energy, and it's literally coming into the spread here is what is supporting you. So it's almost like your nurturing instincts, your protective, I don't know if mama bear is the right term. I always kind of associate that with Cancerian energy, but it's that, again, it's that idea of like, I'm able to have depth and go there if you want to, but if you're uncomfortable doing that, like, we can just hang out and not talk about the heavy stuff too. And I know part of you, Scorpio, is like, no, I want to talk about the heavy stuff, but I think with this person, you have to approach it gingerly, because there's something going on with the dynamic here where you want that relationship and you want that stability, but I'm almost wanting to say there's a little bit more rules to the game this time. It's not something that you can rush into and force. It's almost like your best approach to this is kind of to release and see what happens organically. For those, hold on. Yeah, so the person who is being a little bit difficult, they know they are. They're working through some stuff that they don't fully understand. And the thing is, I don't think you have all the information on what's going on, but you're very psychic. You just kind of know what's up with this person. And so you're able to approach them in a different way than other people have too. So if this is swinging more romantic for you, there is something undeniable about the connection. And it might be, it freaks them out a little bit, is sort of what I'm getting, because again, there's that penetrative energy to Scorpio, and you know what I mean by like the psychological edge, where they kind of know that you see through them, and that freaks them out a little bit too. They're not used to, because this is not a person who wears their heart on their sleeve. There's very much this, you might be dealing with another Scorpio or a water sign you literally have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or Aquarius for that matter. Anyway, they don't wear their heart on their sleeve. They're not used to people being able to read them as well as you do. Again, it's like, you don't even have to say anything. It's just, there's like an understanding. And so I think there's something about this person getting comfortable and adapting to being around your energy. It's not that they don't want to. It's sometimes it gets too real for them, because in past relationships, I'm hearing they've been held prisoner. There's something where they were misunderstood, because again, they're not always great with expressing what's going on internally. Other people have been very turned off by their energy, or given up on them, or abandoned them. And it only like further perpetuates this person's lack of, or lacking the ability to ask for help, because it feels like when they do, they've been rejected, or when they start to establish trust with a person, somehow like the bridge gets burned and people up and leave them, or something of the sort. Again, it may have to do with family issues, like it likely does, like we're all just healing from our past, right? Everybody's got baggage, but for them, there's probably something going on with the family connection, siblings feeling like in competition for their parents' attention. They didn't get it. Like, I don't know, whatever this is. And maybe this is a friend of yours, Scorpio. I'm not saying it has to be romantic, but there is something where it's like you see through them and that freaks them out, but it's not in a way where they're necessarily like sprinting away from you. It's that they can only do small pieces with you at a time. It's like this relationship only works for them in small doses, because I'm hearing like there's an unraveling. There's like an opening up of like I'm seeing a flower blooming. It's like it starts all tight and closed, and like the more they're with you, like they're willing to like let go a little bit, and do you understand what I mean? Like there's an opening up, but it does not happen at a fast pace. This person very likely has a strong earth energy in their chart, right? It's like slow and steady, but They're very quick. I'm hearing the word flinch. They're very quick to close back up because they have trust issues. They have trust issues. Okay. Qualities that Scorpio needs to, I'm hearing the word like to survive this path, this journey. No. What is it that is going to be good advice for Scorpio? Qualities that might be of beneficial to them, to the situation, to the person. What is some sound, sage wisdom? Thank you. The Six of Wands. I think you need to be who you are unapologetically. I don't think you need to cater necessarily who you are for this person, because as a sign that fosters transformative energy, no matter what the situation is, long-term, short-term, whatever, platonic, romantic, there is something karmic about this relationship and this meeting, because something about your energy is transforming this person without you having to do anything at all. Again, there's no force, there's no control issues, there's no I'm trying to make you this person or make you do this, it's not even coming from this egotistical like God complex of like, well, I know how you need to do this, so, allow me to preach. It's not that either. Like, you're coming into this in a very healthy, high vibe way. Like, I just want to acknowledge that. Good for you, Scorpio. There is something just naturally by being in this person's energy, you're rubbing off on them in a positive way, even though this person's energy makes you second guess yourself, because it's like, I only came into this with good intentions, and yet there's something about them that's very closed off, and it retreats, it runs away. You might be dealing with a Cancer, like the idea of like reverting into the crab shell. It's like, hard on the outside, you got the crabby pincers, right? And then on the inside, it's just a ball of mush, right? Like Cancers are just like this sweet little emotional feeling crab, right? Swept away by the ocean, just constantly just like, oh my God, hold on for dear life. I'm not saying you have to be dealing with one, but that's so symbolic. And same with Pisces too. They're just like this little fish. They're swimming upstream and they're exhausted and they need someone to come in and help them and love them. But whoever you're dealing with, zodiac signs aside, it's like, if only this person could just accept your help and kind of be able to exhale and breathe, knowing that like you do have good intentions and you're not trying to like muck shit up for them. I think over time, again, things are going to unfold in a way where your true colors are already showing. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. Again, it's trust issues. I think you need to, there's something about you being in a very strong leadership position. In some ways, you do have the upper hand in this, and I don't necessarily mean it in a strategic sort of way. But it's almost like I'm hearing the word like trailblazer or setting the stage. It's like showing somebody the light, but in a way that's not like, here, look at it. It's very much like model by doing. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Is that the right expression? It's like, yeah. I'm hearing like model by doing it. Like you demonstrate it, so it doesn't have to be this, here, let me show you and force your hand to show. Like, it's just like this. I don't know. I'm rambling. Sorry, you guys. Your energy is lovely. Lovely, Scorpio. Part of me wants to pull cards and be like, what is this person's deal? But I think we already know. Honestly, I think we already addressed that. If this person is out of contact with you currently, they are definitely thinking about you. I think I'm hearing the word like guilt or remorse. I feel like maybe they reacted in a way that was not authentic to what they were feeling about you. But again, it's like this, there's something very scary about this to them, because they can actually be themselves and not have to worry about saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing, because you are so compassionate. And I mean, with that, I'm wanting to give you some sound advice too, of like, make sure your boundaries aren't being trampled over, make sure you're not a doormat. But Scorpio, I think the vibe is right on your end. So whether this works out with this person, if it is romantic, and again, for some of you, it's like a weird family dynamic or sibling, and I didn't say weird in a judgy way. It's like you're dealing with someone who it's like, it's a fickle energy. And so you're right to approach with caution and care. Whether this works out or not, though, this is almost like the universe is using you as a tool. And I don't want you to like take that as I'm being used and I don't benefit from this or I don't get anything out of it. I don't even think that's in your mind, but it's almost like you are heaven sent. That's kind of cute, Scorpio. It's almost like you are serving as like a guardian angel because of your compassionate powers of like, again, being able to walk into a situation and have this powerful, subtle, emotive, transformative energy. It's like that's what this person needed right now. And so more or less you are kind of being used as a tool from the universe. And some of you feel that innately. It's like you're in a connection where you are hoping for more, but you're actually able to kind of step back and see the forest from the trees and understand why things played out the way they did. And again, it's not to put you on a pedestal and, fan your God complex, which I don't think you have, but it goes both ways, right? It's a mirrored energy. So for some of you, you got into a relationship where it did feel like you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And I think it's teaching you forgiveness. I think it's teaching you to not hold a grudge. I think it's teaching you compassion. I think it's allowing you to release and not necessarily try and, control things or have this sort of strain on them where it doesn't, it's like you're not blocking your blessings. There's like this indifferent, like what will be, like I'm showing up because I don't mind, and it's no extra, it's no extra problem for me to do this, but I'm also not doing it with this, I better get what's owed to me. It's just like this, you're setting yourself up for fantastic karma. I'm going to say that. So what is known about this situation? What is known about the situation? Okay, good. For a second, I was like, is my video recording? That would have scared me. 7 of Cups. Yeah, you see potential here, and it's hard for you to explain why. But you're like, I just have a vibe about this. I just have it's like I have a pulse on what's going on. And it's not ideal, but I'm not done with this yet. Scorpio. You're like, this is a project, and I love a good project. Okay, be careful with that, though. Be careful with that, right? I think you're in the right place. I think your heart is in the right place. I would just be very grounded, right? Being opposed by Earth. Sometimes that can be a challenge for any of the water signs, especially Taurian energy, right? Which is your opposite sign. There is a need to be very grounded and truthful and blunt about the reality of the situation, and therefore go off of what you know, that this person isn't exactly sure how they feel, or they're still warming up to the idea of being able to express their truth to you emotionally, right? Cups has to do with our emotion. So I'm just saying, I think you need to have realistic expectations. With the 7 of Cups, it can kind of sometimes go off into like dreamy, idealistic, fantasy fairy tale land. And I get that. Like, this is a very interesting read because part of me is wanting to say, what are your motives here? Is there ulterior motives? Because I don't see any on your part, and yet you're still participating in this. Again, if it's family, maybe there's just a natural responsibility. It could be that some of you are tending to a parent who didn't necessarily give you the time of day, but in their time of need, you're showing up 1,000%. There is that vibe, and again, it's good karma. I don't know why, for some of you, it's like you feel like it's your duty, like it's your responsibility. And in a more spiritual, I don't know if I want to use the word religious sense. Some of you, it's like this thing you can't quite explain, but it feels like a calling for you. Like you were brought into this person's life for a reason, and you're not necessarily doing the questioning why. You're just like, okay, like this came into my life for a reason, so I'm going to explore it and pursue it a little bit, but I'm also not going to attach myself to a certain outcome. Okay, cool. How does this person feel about Scorpio? If this is romantic, like, let's just tell it, Spirit. What are we at? 7 of Cups is like they're still deciding, but also like, look at that smile. There's a little bit like, there's like a deep sigh. How are they feeling? Page of Pentacles. Ooh, they think you're a little bit magic. Again, it's being relayed to me with childlike energy, though. The pages, it's kind of fresh, it's kind of naive. So this is probably a new-ish relationship. If it's even that, maybe it's like a friendship, or it's like a work colleague that you kind of feel like a little flirtation with, or something like that. Yeah, there's something here about, I think they see potential in you, but they also, okay, this is interesting. They also, and I think this is a good message, view relationships with a certain responsibility is what I'm saying. They don't just jump into things haphazardly. It's like if they're going to work with you, they really got to like, here's that word again, like refine and finesse and like sharpen, or it's like they're dedicating themselves to making something better before they jump in. So maybe they're quite literally working on themselves. Maybe this person is in therapy. Maybe they are trying to heal some emotional stuff that is a blockage. And so you being there is sort of like that nudge or that initiator, that catalyst. It's almost like a sign that, yeah, they need to keep doing the work because good things are arriving to them, maybe in the form of you, but I mean, again, even just like friendship or something like that. I asked, how do they feel about you? Seven of Cups, Page of Pentacles. I would say lukewarm, but there's potential. But again, this person isn't like head over heels, whatever, but they are thinking about you. I think there's something very complex going on here about, I'm feeling things that I haven't felt before, and rather than being like, I'm in love and I don't care who knows it, it's like, what is this feeling that I have for Scorpio, and why, it's like, it doesn't make sense to them. They're being like kind of analytical about their feelings right now. So what is unknown? What's hiding out in the shadows, the depths, maybe something that we are feeling intuitively, but it hasn't materialized yet? What is in the shadow for this relationship? Three of Pentacles. Yeah, you guys are building something together. And again, there might not be a lot of proof of it right now. Some of you may have actually kind of felt rejected by this. And so maybe you're choosing to distance yourself from it and kind of focus on your own stuff. And you have no reason not to, Scorpio. I want to be clear. This is like a hands-off. Like at this point, it's almost like let them come to you a little bit, because you've already kind of worked your magic and given them some food for thought. And the thing is, like, there's a lasting power there. I don't think you fully realize how much you impacted this person in a positive way. You absolutely did. What's hidden, though, is Three of Pentacles. But here's the thing. I actually really like this, because Three of Pentacles can sometimes be a card of teamwork, or there's someone else in the mix. There's only two people in this card. So it's like, we want to build something as a team. We want to collaborate, but I don't think third party shit has anything to do with this. So for some of you who, I don't even think I want to bring it here, because I don't see evidence of this anyway in your psyche, but for the one or two of you that were like, oh, maybe they rejected me because there's another person, they have an ex, but I don't think that's it at all. I don't. I'm not saying the memories of an ex, and especially like the trauma or healing, the heartbreak associated with an ex isn't playing a role in this. Of course it is. Things that happened 30 years ago to this person are still playing a role in their life. But that being said, in terms of what's hidden, is like, I think there's a huge potential for you guys to build something together and establish something with a more solid foundation, because we haven't reached that point yet, right? Three of Pentacles builds to the four, and fours are about stability. So we're working our way towards some sort of more stable, consistent relationship here, but it's a little bit in and out. It's a little bit flighty, but there is kind of like this whimsical dreaming of what could be energy. And honestly, I think that's happening on both your parts. I do think work is a priority right now. Like, even this person views quote unquote like playtime or doing things out of pleasure, like or whatever, they approach it very seriously. Like, they take their fun and activities very seriously. Yeah. Again, maybe some earth sign energy coming into this. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right. So potential unknown here, if whatever we're allowed to know. What is the potentially outcome rather? Interesting. So Three of Cups, Knight of Swords. So reunion, communication. Seven of Wands, which to me, this is almost like, look how far we've come. Like, we're looking at the timeline of this, and there's progress being made. And then the Nine of Wands. Okay, cool. So this is someone letting down their guard. Again, there's that moon energy of, I'm wanting to break bread with them. The ability to express the emotions versus run from them, Sagittarius energy. I think there's an embracing of, I think for both of you, what you truly want and need out of, if this is romantic or friendship, whatever you truly want and need and desire out of that, I think we're putting our cards on the table. So whether that is in alignment, or whether you decide, yeah, okay, maybe we're just not a good fit, but we can still be friends, or, maybe we get together one last time and it's a very lovely experience, and now we have clarity on what this is, so we can move on, or whatever it is. There's a sense of accomplishment with the Seven of Wands. Didn't I say to you, like, last time, there was something about like, I beat the devil? That's sort of what this feels like too. And I'm not saying anybody in this scenario is the devil, but things that were holding this person back, their shadow energy, I think for a lot of you, they're able to rise above it, or initiate the process of working through it in a way, because of, I'm not saying, you're all to blame for this, or all the congratulations are due to you, but there was a significant impact you made on this person. But I'll be honest. I mean, Three of Cups to the Knight of Swords. I think there is pleasant and happy communications with this person. I think there's the potential for this to grow and like get the spark back. It's like, I'm hearing words like embers, flames. It's like restoke the fire. If we kind of fell off track, I think there's I think there's some passion that's being reinvigorated to bring this into a happier, more lighthearted connection where there's more enjoyment for everyone involved. It doesn't, because for some of you, this felt very unreciprocated or unrequited, or it felt very imbalanced. Like, again, you were doing some of the heavy lifting. I think that changes. It could also be that there's new communications coming in your own social network, Scorpio, that you're like, ooh, I got a good feeling about this. I'm putting my time and energy in here too. This could go a couple different ways, but I like the outcome. The outcome says things are going to get better. Things are going to get happier. You're going to have more clarity. I think there is going to continued conversations, revisited conversations. I'm hearing like literally to be continued. But yeah, Nine of Wands, I think, is the idea of somebody working through their emotions, passions, like, again, more internal things. I think someone is working through them, possibly in that analytical way of trying to gain a better understanding and perspective, like having knowledge over what's going on internally. That's very Sagittarian energy. It's like the learning, the education, the higher knowledge of something. But then the moon is like our instincts, what we need to feel safe. And I think this person is getting a higher perspective on that and more understanding. Bottom of the deck is Temperance. Yeah, blending cups, blending energies. It's tempered, right? It's balanced. It's, again, not putting the cart before the horse, not celebrating prematurely. I think it's taking it a step at a time. But didn't we say something about like we're letting it stew, we're letting it cook? Like we're turning up the heat slowly. That's very symbolic of what's going on here. It's like we can't force this and make it something it's not, because not everybody's on the same page yet. But you do have a lot of pages, so maybe these pages are getting on the same page. Pun intended. Sagittarian energy, Sagittarius, Temperance, love it. Okay, all right, couple floofy, girly oracle cards. Let's lighten the mood a little bit. This is a great reading though, Scorpio, I like it. You are pure magic. I cannot think of a better card for this reading, because you are. Yeah, you had dare I say, you kind of had a magical influence on this scenario, this situation, this person. Again, if this has to do with family, this person may even express gratitude to you in a way where they're not coming out and saying it, wearing their heart on their sleeve. Again, it's a little bit muddled, it's a little bit caged, but you're understanding that this person knows that you showed up for them and they are very grateful to you. Even if they're not able to express it in the most clear way, you do get some sort of subtle indication that this person is thanking you in some way. All right, get created and excite your imagination with wonder. That feels very Seven of Cups to me too. Feeling or seeing the potential in something, but knowing that maybe it's not here in the 3D yet. It's still kind of working its way out in the ethers or being manifested in some way. All right, last but not least, Healing Oracle for Scorpio. That came right out. Letting go, 26. All right, 26. This situation has served its purpose. You are being challenged to change your point of view and recognize that this particular relationship has run its course. Although you might be afraid to let go, the universe has a new opportunity for you, which will allow you to experience the kind of passion and satisfaction you have always dreamed of. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe Three of Cups is a new connection with someone too. It doesn't always have to be reunion. But anyway, putting it out there. Saying goodbye is never easy and can make you feel like you are a failure. You must not allow yourself to be persuaded by other people or your own doubts to keep holding on. Focus on opening your heart to a new opportunity. Leave the baggage of past mistakes behind you. It is important that during the letting go process, you are gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to have time alone to write, meditate, paint, sing, and dance. Do whatever you can to heal and let go of pain that is holding you back. Recognize that your spirit is beckoning you to grow. I'm also going to offer you this, Scorpio. Yes, again, I don't think I need to tell you to let go, because there's something about your energy that is very just like releasing. Like I can't make this something that it isn't. So I'm just, there's an awareness of what this is, knowing that maybe it has potential to be something else. But again, you're not trying to mastermind anything. There's like just let it be, let it be. That being said, the letting go card may also have to do with the person in your life and what are they still kind of cleaning out of the closet. They're doing some shadow work, some soul work. Again, your impact of the transformative energy may actually be highlighting an area of their life that they're actively working on. Just putting it out there. All right, that's what I got for you guys. This was cool. I like this reading. I hope you did too. Let me know in the comments below, Scorpio. Please like the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell if you want us to find each other again in the world of YouTube. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, Scorpio.